Hi everyone, good evening. Myself Gayatri. I welcome you all on behalf of Varthana's webinar today. So for those of you who have joined new, I'll just tell about a bit about our webinar series. This is our third webinar series. We have organized already two webinar series in the last 2 years. If you look at last year, we have organized around 24 webinars and we had around like 1,700 school leaders and teachers participating in this webinar. So we had a very great webinar last year where a lot of teachers and school leaders participated, engaged, and got some impact in their classrooms. So we wish to have the same this year as well. So we welcome you, all of you, for this third webinar series where we are very excited and we have brought a lot more important and very necessary topic for the school, which can enable the school to grow in the upcoming academic year. So thank you all for joining for today's webinar. We'll quickly move on to the first webinar of this academic year, which is Ultimate Guide to Academic Year, which is like planning for your school. So this is the very first webinar for this academic year. Let's move on to the agenda of the day. So we have an introduction and we have a session objectives. We also go under what is this importance of planning. Then we'll briefly look at Varthana programs, and then we'll also talk about academic roadmap for schools. Then we'll also look at Varthana partnered programs. Then we'll close the session with the feedback. So for introduction, as usual, we have a small poll for all of you here. So I'll be launching the poll. Can you quickly select on your participant profile? So what is your profile? If you're a school leader or a school principal, teacher, it would be great for us to understand like the diversity of our audience as well. We'll take 1 or 2 minutes for the poll. So I would request everyone kindly vote. I'll quickly share the result. So if you see, we have a very good number of teachers on today's session, and we also good number of school leaders. Again, thank you all for joining for today's session. We'll move to the next thing. So we have a very clear 3 objectives for today's session. The very first thing is that to understand the importance of planning and also to know about how Varthana program will help you to guide in achieving your school growth. And second thing is to design academic roadmap for your school to perform it better. And third one, to understand what all strategy you can use to engage your stakeholders of your school. So since we all know this is about planning, we'll start with a small activity for the day, right? If you have a pen and paper, that would be great. If not, have your mobile phone. That itself is enough. So let's get into an activity mode. Since it's summer, it's a very good thing that we should go for a vacation. So let's imaginately we are going for a vacation. Consider all of you here have won a ticket to Maldives, and you can take around 10 people along with you for the Maldives trip. All the trip are entirely completely sponsored by a particular person. So you have to pick, like, you can pick your family, colleagues, staff, students, anyone for the vacation. So you are quite ready. You are like came with 10 other people. You have onboarded the flight. You're all get set, go. The flight has taken off. And for your surprise, due to an emergency, the pilots had landed the plane in a desert, right? So now the pilot has make sure that you and the people who are accompanied are quite safe, but he couldn't rescue any other thing. Your luggages, your packages, whatever you planned, everything couldn't be saved. You are left alone along with the 10 other people in a desert. And pilot says that the nearby help can approach us, like at least they will take 48 hours to reach you. And he says that you have a suitcase which has like 15 different items. You must choose only 10 items due to resource constraint. That makes you and your team survive for the next 48 hours. So the pilot opens a suitcase. You are able to see 15 different items. Now, within 2 minutes of time, you should choose 10 things which you think will help you and your team will survive for the next 48 hours till the time the help comes. So I would request everyone to quickly look at the 15 things, quickly note down what are the 10 things among these 15 you will choose so that you are able to survive the desert weather, knowing how the day might look in desert, how night might look in desert, considering all the factors, choose 10 items. Your time starts now. So you have 2 minutes to choose 10 items. So I would request everyone to like make a note in your mobile phone or pen and or using pen and paper. Great, your time is up. So I would request all of you to stop noting down. And it would be great if anyone could raise your hand and talk about what is the item you have chosen. If couldn't, please put it in the chat box. We are just wanted to know like what items you thought it will be very helpful for you to survive in the desert for the next 48 hours. So I'm gonna quickly look at the raise hand option and quickly gonna unmute. Prakash sir, I'm unmuting. Parveen ma'am, I'm unmuting. Anam, I'm unmuting sir. Amit Kumar, I'm unmuting from my end. So you have to unmute. You can see the microphone button. Unmute from your end, so you'll be able to talk. Those who are not able to like talk right now, please put it in the chat box. Yes, Prakash sir.
Torch,
Okay.
parachute, parachute,
Yes.
magnetic compass,
Yes.
one overcoat, 1 liter of water,
Yes.
bandage kit,
Okay.
sectional air map,
Yes.
bottle of salt,
Okay.
plastic raincoat,
Okay.
one pair of sunglasses.
Great, great, sir. Just one question here. Why do you think bottle of salt tablets would be helpful?
Because it is desert now.
You think that this will help you to survive, right?
It may helpful for us if I thought like that.
Great. Thank you so much, Prakash sir. That was a quick answer from you. Anybody else would want to add or want to tell about it? Those who have raised hand, Amit sir, Parveen ma'am, Anam ma'am, or anybody can put it in the chat box. What are the other items you would have chosen? I see Pavani, I'm allowing to talk. I've unmuted. Please unmute from your end. Also unmuted. I've unmuted from yes, Pavani ma'am, can you talk? Usha ma'am, I'm unmuting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
I would like to select one torch,
Yes.
map of the area,
Yes.
and pair of sunglasses,
Yes.
bandage kit for that.
Great. Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
That's all, ma'am.
That's all.
Sufficient for survival.
Yes. I think you have chosen the minimum one to make sure that you are surviving the best. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Shri, ma'am, Shri, I'm unmuting from my end. Please unmute from your end so that you can talk. So I'm seeing some chat box messages. Meha ma'am has said map, bandage, parachute, overcoat, magnetic compass, water, torch, pistol, and penknife. Thank you so much, Meha ma'am, for choosing different items. Yes. So those who want to talk, please unmute from your time. And meanwhile, I'll also just give a summary about the activity over here. So if you look at this entire like 15 things, all seems to be very useful, right? Sectional area of map, bottle of salt tablets, magnetic compass, raincoat, everything seems to be useful. But you have to look at your situation. You need to survive in a desert with 10 other people for the next 48 hours, and you need to choose only 10 items. So over here, what you have to do is you have to thoroughly plan and analyze each and every item. Some item need like looks like highest priority, be it torch, right? It's a very highest priority. You need to have torch to make sure at least you're moving, right? Parachute is something very important. Second set of answers are like it might look like useful but not really useful. Say for example, sectional area of the map or bottle of salt tablets. It might look very useful, but bottle of salt tablets will make you dehydrate in desert more. So those are the things you have to avoid. Third thing, you itself very clearly know I don't need this as of now, right? For example, a plastic raincoat. It might look like it might rain, but wallet with 500. What I'm going to do with wallet with 500 when there is nothing to buy in a desert? So in any given situation, you need to have a proper plan and prioritize your resources accordingly. So this is a small activity which we did, wanted to make sure that you are understanding why planning is important for anyone. And now let's look at a teacher or school leader point of view. Let's look at it as an importance of planning from a school leader or anyone who is running the school from his point of view, right? Come back to your own position. Now, for a school leader, if he has a proper planning, that will help him to have a strategic direction for his school. Say, for example, I'm a school leader of ABC school. I want my enrollment to go up to 1,000 for this academic year. Now I know which direction I need to travel. So my planning helps me to fix the direction. Should I go direction A or direction B? Secondly, planning helps you to allocate your resource effectively. Right now, you did right resource allocation. I need torch, I need magnetic compass, I don't want pistol. So, this is resource allocation depending upon the situation. For a school leader, you might need to allocate your resources very effectively. What is the revenue I'm getting? My student fee is the revenue. Should I increase to match my resource allocation? Should I recruit more teacher? Should I increase the salary of my existing teacher? Should I onboard more programs so that my students are engaged in a better way? So these are the planning you should make as a school leader for a proper resource allocation. Third one, planning helps you to overcome your risk. It helps you to manage the risk, similar to the activity we did, right? So as a school leader or as a teacher, you might face lot of situation in a daily basis. So I just heard someone. I'm just gonna, yeah. So as a school leader, you might face different situation on a daily basis. Planning helps you to manage those risks effectively. And then one of the important stakeholder of your school is student. If you have a proper plan, your student enrollment will increase. This will also help you to make sure that you are engaging your student effectively. And next, because of the student enrollment, you have to make sure that your teacher requirement is also met. So proper planning helps you to understand what is the need of my teacher, because we have a lot of new policy come into right now. Do they need extra training to understand pedagogy? Do they need extra training to understand the upcoming curriculum? So all these are can be done using planning. And last and the most important stakeholder of a school is a parent, right? If you engage your parent effectively through a proper planning, your parent won't alone stay engaged to your school and be loyal to your school. They act as a promoter. What do we mean by promoter? They will invite other parents and make sure their children are joining your school. That's the kind of parents we want in a school who act as your promoters, right? So all these are possible if you have an efficient planning. So you have done an activity. We talked a lot about theory about why planning is important, to allocate resource, to manage student effectively, to manage teacher requirement, engage parents. Now you might let's also understand how Varthana is going to support you in all of these cases. So we are not here to tell about the theory that you have to do this, you have to do that so that you achieve the result. We have committed ourselves to make sure that we are like making an impact in the schools through our programs so that the school are able to transform and provide a better learning environment for the students. So how Vartana is going to help you all in this is that first talk about the first stakeholder, school leaders. For school leaders, we have a bi-week webinar organized on an important topic. We'll talk about all of these things individually. For teachers, we have a teacher certification program and we also have financial literacy training program planned for them. Third, for parents, we have parents insights survey. And the last but not the last stakeholder is the students. For students, we believe if you are able to achieve a proper impact of all these three stakeholders, we'll be able to impact the student as well. Not only that, Vartana has already partnered with multiple different organizations to make sure the students are engaged in the classroom really well, like LEAD or KAN, which we'll be talking as well. Now let's look at in detail about what Varthana is going to offer to you and how can you make use of all these programs effectively and plan your academic year. The very first one is webinar, the one we are doing right now, right? Many of you have already participated and you know what kind of content we bring in. So these webinar will help you have the very important or the current knowledge or update with respect to educational trends through engaging sessions. We also have like latest addition, like we have hands-on templates and interesting tips and tricks which you can. So I'm here. I heard somebody is talking. Yeah, whoever is like, can you please unmute from your end? It might be a little bit disturbance from our. Yes, thank you so much. 1 second, I'm just gonna unmute. Yes, mute the party. Whoever raised your hand, I'm going to mute you for a few minutes. Yes, coming back. So these like hands-on templates will help teachers and school leaders to take the tips and tricks which we are discussing in our session immediately to your classroom or to your school, implement and see the results as soon as possible. So our target audience here is like school leaders, teachers. I'll quickly show you the webinar calendar. This is like we will be anyway sharing with you, all of you, in our WhatsApp group as well. But this is the calendar we have for the upcoming quarter. If you look at the top,
ನಮ್ಮ ಮೆನ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ರೊಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಮೆನ್ಸಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ.
Shushti or Vasha, can you please mute whoever like have unmuted, please? Yeah, thank you. So this is a calendar link. I'm sharing it for the first quarter, which means like first 3 months of the academic year. If you see, we have like 2 webinars planned for every month. And look at the topic. We are discussing the important one, like knowing about the school health, how the school health looks like, how do you have to prepare your students, and how do you have to evolve yourself for the, adapt yourself for the evolving Indian education landscape, and how do you have to like have technology in administration, and most importantly NEP. So we are discussing the important topics in the coming webinar. I would say, like, please stay throughout the webinar, understand like what are the upcoming webinars, make useful, right? We have already uploaded all our webinar in our Varthana YouTube channel. I'm going to show that as well. So this is our Varthana YouTube channel. If you go there, you can see our webinar link. Click on that. You will be able to see all the webinars so far we have done in this webinar series. There are many webinars on different topics. I would request everyone to go back and refresh your knowledge and implement all the tips and tricks which we have shared with you. It will be a useful resource for you, for all of you. Moving back, the next one is teacher certification program. This is a completely free program which we have designed, Varthana has designed for the teachers, especially keeping in consideration the requirements of NEP and the curriculum we have and the expectation we have from parents and from the education sector. So we have designed an entire TCP, which is called Teacher Certification Program, for the teacher to address all of these things. After successfully completing this entire program, this program course will last from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, where every week we'll have like one session, or alternate weeks have one session. And this will be conducted completely online. So post completing your program, you will get a certification from Varthana. So if you look at the focus areas, we have NEP, we have classroom leadership and management, we have learning and pedagogy. These are the sample things. We have so many things planned for teacher considering their requirement and needs. The third one is financial literacy program. So this is one of an interesting program where Varthana, we have partnered with Jeevitam, an organization which specializes in giving training to teachers on financial literacy and digital tools. So you might wonder, why financial literacy? Out of all the topics, why did we choose financial literacy? We believe in the current situation, in the current scenario, like depending upon the things going around, it's a must for everyone to have a proper knowledge on finance. They should have a financial literacy and financial skills to make a better decision and have a better lifestyle. And we also want to make an impact on the new generation, the upcoming generation as well. Who is the best apart from teachers who can give it, right? So we want to enable teachers with all the skills and knowledge why finance is important, what are the financial skills everyone should have, so the teacher will be able to pass on to the students. So if you look at the focus area, we will be discussing about basic financial concepts. We'll also discuss about cyber frauds, awareness around that, and how to secure your funds and investment, and what are the investment option available, and how do you have to plan your retirement. This is not only a knowledge sharing session which you can pass it to the next generation, but can use it for yourself to plan your finance very well. So this has been done by in collaboration with Jeevitam team, and this training is also completely free, offered by Varthana. So post completion of this training, you will receive a certification from Jeevitam. The next important program which Varthana is about to offer for this academic year is a Parent Insight Survey. So we believe, as I said earlier, if you are able to engage parents very well, we not alone retain them, but will attract more parents to them. So it's important to identify what need they have, what areas they think the school is doing good, what areas they need the school need to do good. So all these things are covered through a survey which will be conducted by Varthana, and we'll analyze the entire inputs given by these parents, and we'll submit the report. I'll just quickly show how so we will be conducting this entire survey through an online mode to make sure that like we are able to efficiently use time and resources. So this is how the Google form will look like. So I'm gonna rephrase again. So whoever please talking, can you please unmute your microphone so that it's
ఒకే సాయంత్రం లోపలికి కూర్చోండా ఏం చేయాలో తెలియదు కదా ఏమి లేదు పొలం.
Prakash sir, I have unmuted from my end because of the noise. Sorry, I have muted from my end because of the noise. I'll be unmuting. If you have anything to say, please raise your hand. So if you look at the Google form, so these are the things we will be like basically trying to understand what features works well, what features they want to improve, how they feel about the school. All of these things we'll ask through Google form, and we collect the responses, and then we will share a report with the school. This is a sample report I'm sharing with you, which we are conducted in one of the school. So you'll have an introduction, you'll have a score scale. I'm just going to zoom it for everyone. Score scale where you can understand and what is the survey scope looks like. Then you'll have a brief about like what is the overall parent satisfaction and how many parents going to recommend, and division of your parent with respect to net promoter. Who is your loyal one? Who are the promoters? Who are the passive? Who are the detractors? Right? A split about that. And then we'll also like give you an idea about what is the score your parents think suitable with respect to 4 important aspects: infrastructure, quality of education, school management, parent engagement. So you get to know the score, and you also get to know the few insights from our end. And then you'll also get to know what are the 3 highlights of your school which parents like the most, and 3 areas of improvement which your parents want to make sure you are like making improvement in these areas to have an engaged classroom and effective parents. Finally, according to the area of improvement, we also offer you recommendation what as a school you can do for all these 3 areas which your parents need an improvement. And then you'll also get to know what are the survey questions we have asked. So this is the sample report which you will get post the parent survey analysis. Coming back to our session. So like as I already mentioned, this is how Varthana is planning to support your school with respect to different stakeholders. Now moving forward, as a school leader, as a teacher, how you should have a particular academic roadmap for your school for each and every stakeholder, I would say, so that you are also able to use all the program which Varthana is offering, but add your essence to it and make sure you are able to achieve the growth of your school. So let's see what are the steps for a academic roadmap for your school. The first one is stakeholder engagement. So basically it means that whatever the key stakeholder you have in your school, be it parent, teacher, staffs, non-teaching staff. Invite everyone in your decision-making process and make sure you have an open communication channel to address their need. That's a very first step for any stakeholder. Next is, once you understand their need and once you understand their concern, you have to set a goal and prioritize your goal. Say, for example, I want my student enrollment to increase. I want my student to perform better. I want to have my parents engaged. So these are your goals. How do you prioritize? You have to prioritize based on your resource. So the third step is assessment and analysis. You have to conduct assessment to understand where is the current level of the stakeholder. If it is students, where is the current learning level? If it is a teacher, how about the teaching skills? So have an assessment and understand the key strength area and areas of improvement. Fourth one is planning and allocation. Once you have a goal, objective through properly designed analysis and assessment, now you have to plan effectively to achieve these goals, and also how we are going to allocate the resources, be it funding, technology, staffs, whatever, like how we are going to efficiently allocate. Third step is implementation and evaluation. You have plan. Now it's time to implement the plan. Like implement the plan and keep on like reviewing a plan and see what strategy actually worked very well, what strategy need to be revamped or reworked. So this is the 5 steps. So now what we are going to do here is that we're going to look at for every stakeholder. So what I want you to do is that first I will talk about student as a stakeholder, right? So I'm just going to give an example, like just going to briefly explain each and every step. Then we'll look at the example. For student, the first step would be assessment and analysis. Do a simple comprehensive assessment or year-end assessment which you have conducted. Understand their performance and understand this student is performing good in this particular area and weak in this particular area. Next, what you have to do is that conduct a need analysis for a student. Treat them as an equal stakeholder as well to understand their need. For example, they might feel some classroom seems to be very heavy. They need some kind of support or guidance in that classroom, or they need some kind of support from the peers. Do that need analysis. Third thing is that set a goal for your students through SMART method or through importance and urgency matrix. Prioritize the goals. Next is, based on the goal, have a student development plan. What you're going to do, how you're going to increase their performance, like what resource you're going to use. Are you going to have any program, going to recruit any teachers, how we are going to achieve the your goals. Final one is implement the plan and evaluate. After particular days, do an assessment and see whether the learning outcome has increased or not. So this is just a theory, right? We have been talking about, but let's look at an example. So see, the first thing is need analysis. See, I said an assessment analysis, right? So as a school, you might have done with your annual exam. From annual exam result, I would say do not ignore that result. It's a very important result of 1 year consistent work of your teachers. Take that result and see, from that result, I got to know 40% of my students are performing below in English, majorly grammar and reading comprehension. I'm sensing most of the students are performing very low in grammar and reading comprehension. What is the next step? Goal, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm planning a summer remedial plan. See, it's not necessarily need to be summer. You can have it even when you reopen school, for the first week of reopen, you can have a special remedial classes for these students. And you have to inform the parents and you have to get students to the school. Now, for third one, this is stakeholder engagement. Third one is you have to set goals. My children having low performance in English, majorly in grammar and comprehension. I'm thinking of having a remedial plan, remedial summer class. What would be a goal looking like, right? I'm just going to quickly launch a poll for that. So I've launched a poll. According to you, once again, let me just open. According to you, say for example, the student is performing very less in grammar and comprehension. What would be the clear set goal? Choose the clear set goal. You have 4 options, so you can choose any of these options. So I would request everyone to please vote. There is no right or wrong answer, just for us to understand according to you what is the clear or the smart goal. Okay, I'm going to publish the result. As many of you mentioned, the clear set goal according to all of you or most of you is all the students will score more than 75% in grammar and comprehension. Yes, it's a clear set goal. You are like keeping goal for all the students and you're also keeping a benchmark. They have to score more than 75%, right? Now, coming back to, so that's the clear goal looks like. Now, fourth step is I have my goal. Now, what I should do? What is the implementation looks like? So I'll be conducting 10 days of this remedial or special class, just 1 hour in the month of May. I would invite only my high performing teachers who are capable of giving their best in the least amount of time, so that the entire remedial and the special class period is like utilized effectively. I can even use Varthana unlock books or any other remedial resources we have, so that the teacher are able to teach this particular set of students grammar and comprehension. What is the fifth one? Evaluation. Now I just wanted to understand from you, after conducting 10 days of assessment, what kind of assessment or how do you check your student knowledge? What are the ways to check student knowledge? You can put it in the chat box or raise your hand. What are the ways to check your knowledge? Like you have conducted remedial class for 10 days using high performing teachers. Now after 10 days, what kind of assessment or what kind of test or what activity you do to know whether your child has been able to improve their learning outcome? Somebody has raised hand. I'm just gonna Nilima ma'am, I'm just gonna unmute from my end. If anybody else want to answer, please raise hand or just put it in the chat box. What are the other ways? So teachers, you are like the one who's playing a huge role in the classroom. So you must be knowing different methods more than me. So it would be better to hear from you. You might conduct quizzes. What are the other things? I'll just show you what I think would be better. It's important to test their knowledge, so you can go for quizzes, one word or MCQ, and you can analyze the final result and compare whether 75%, your goal has been achieved or not. So this is how you design the roadmap for your students for this particular problem, right? Say for example, 40% low performance. So this particular problem, this is how I'm going to approach. Let's look one more example with respect to parent engagement. So roadmap for parent engagement is similar to student. The steps gonna same, but inside the details gonna differ. First one is through parent insight survey, which we talked about, right? You got to know the area of strength and area of improvement, and from there you are going to like set the goals and prioritize the goals. Third one is you're going to organize a parent orientation session. Why? Because you're going to give at the beginning of the academic year, you're going to talk about what is the school mission, vision, values, what curriculum you're going to use. So that's how you catch the parent at the beginning of an academic year. And then you're going to plan and allocate resources, like what strategy I can implement for better engagement, what kind of workshop I can have with the parents. Finally, you implement the plan and evaluate through like feedback mechanism or another survey or whatever, right? Let's look at an example here. So a school called ABC has conducted a parent insight survey. It is noticed that majority of parents are looking for spoken English class for their children, right? They want the school to have spoken English class. Also, we have noticed that 40% of parents fall under passive. I showed you the net promoter score, right? Promoters, passives, and detractors. So 40% of them fall under passive, which means they're not really engaged in the school, nor they're bringing any kind of extra parents to the school as well. They're just okay and satisfied with the school. So for what would be the one, I have done the assessment and analysis. So how I'm going to address this? So what I'll do with respect to spoken English class, I'm going to choose one particular solution or program which has this particular spoken English class. For example, lead ELGA. ELGA is a skill-based English learning program which helps the students to speak as well as write very well in English. So this is the idea, right? Now, the next step is that I have to engage the stakeholder. So on the day before reopening, I'm going to invite the parents, ask them to sit in the orientation session, going to discuss them about what is the curriculum I'm having, why I've chosen this particular book or curriculum, and also going to tell them about what is the expectation we have for students, what is the expectation we have parents, what are the policies we have for the school, and I also share them what are the workshops we have planned for the parents and the calendar invite before itself, so that they know, okay, next month I have PTA and next month I have a workshop, or the coming week I have a PTA, so they know what is there, so that they can plan their day accordingly and make sure they attend the session or PTA, whatever you're organizing. And I'll also mention the topics of the session, the facilitator, all details, so that it gives some kind of curiosity for them. Okay, this is session going to happen on September, I'm going to be there, this is the topic, this is the facilitator. So give them that idea so that they are quite engaged. So now last one is implementation and evaluation. So after every PTA meeting, you can have a feedback form, or you can conduct a parent survey every quarter or bi-yearly, so that you know how your parents are looking at and what kind of opinion they have for your school. So these are like, we also have for teacher, but I don't want to like talk a lot about the theory. We have put down in the handout for teacher what you should do with an example. So we'll share the handout as well with all of you. We want you to go through it and implement it in your school. So this is how you engage your stakeholder effectively. We have talked a lot about planning, how Varthana is going to support you, how you can make sure your stakeholders are engaged. We also wanted to introduce few useful free tools which is available in the online for each and every stakeholder, precisely for planning. So for students, we put down the names of few what do you call tools. We will look at one tool like as a sample, but we have mentioned all these tools in the handout. A kind request would be like, go back and look at the handout and go back and check each and every tool. Every tool is free, just that you have to like explore the tool and make sure that you are able to use it to your school. So for students, we have different tools like student engagement, Flipgrid is there, and for academic planner, you have My Study Life. For setting goal, this is like CSI is like the child itself can set goal for them, right? They can create a profile, they can set this month I'm going to increase my learning outcome in science, and they can track their progress each and every day. So that's how the app is built. So I'll just show you one here. So this is My Study Life. So if you look at this thing, so it has like a lot of feature. So it has like daily school planner, class schedule planner, school schedule maker, homework tracker, homework and school reminders. So students can simply put down their homework over here and they can get reminders. All of these things can be done using this particular app. So if I look at class schedule planner and study app, all the plan, all these things you can implement it here. So it's like get started for free, click on that. You have to like your students or the teacher or the parents can put on whatever they want to track, and it like you can track the progress and have a lot of reminders for the students. This is the important planning tool for students. Next one is for teacher. You have Google Classroom for proper lesson plan, and even do a proper video lesson class using Google Classroom. And for better online resources, you have Khan Academy with various resources, and you can like for various subject and various grades. For classroom management, like to manage the behavior, communication with parents, track student progress, you have Class Dojo. So Class Dojo, you can just create and like your particular profile, you can put down what is the information you want to pass it to parents. So for example, I'll just show you Khan Academy here. Khan Academy here. So if you go to Khan Academy, you have class wise. I've chosen class 9 biology. You can see what is the unit 1. The unit 1 is fundamental unit of life. So it starts from scale of cells. If you click on scale of cells, you will get a video about scale of cells, right? So this is how the Khan Academy has a huge amount of resource. Make use of these resources for your teachers. And finally, for parents, like as I already mentioned, right, you can have Google Calendar. We can put down the particular date and event that's going to happen. For example, parent teacher meeting, put it in the Google Calendar and send an invite so that they also get reminders regarding the event. And then for proper communication, you have ClassTag. ClassTag is a wonderful platform for parents to, the teachers or school leaders to send communication. This is what happening in the school. We have this event plan. This is how your child is performing. You can keep on send messages from teachers end and administrator end to the parents. The parents need not to have any app downloaded. They just get SMS. And you can even use survey like Google form to conduct simple survey to understand or collect feedback from them. I'll just show you ClassTag here. So if you look at ClassTag, so it has like various features. It's completely free. So you can create a community as well for a teacher. Like she can add all the parents' details, their numbers, their name, student name, and she can send one by one. The parents need not to download the app; they just get the SMS. Like they just get the SMS, right? So for example, a volunteering optioning is coming up in the school, or there is a parent teacher conference. Everything can be sent as an invite through this app, and you have sent it, and these people have accepted, these people have dismissed it. Everything can be tracked. All the thing is that if you get started, it will ask you to create a profile, whether you're a teacher or a school leader or parent. Once you create an account, you will get to know what you have to add the details of your school. For classroom, you have to add the details of the students. For school, you have to add details of teachers and other staffs. So this is how it will be. So all the thing which I've shared is completely free. So I would request everyone to go back and look at the handout and explore each at least one tool for you and make yourself for your school. So we are at like summary of the session. So let's summarize what we have seen. Like we have seen multiple things about planning. The very first thing is that if you have a successful planning, you are halfway to your success, right? Because you know what kind of goal I have, like what are the resources I have, how I have to improve. And then you have like wonderful program offered by Varthana at free of cost. And we will be having lot many new programs coming, which we will update you in the upcoming webinar. So use these programs, be it webinar or teacher certification program or financial literacy program by Jeevitam, and then parents insight survey. Use all these at the beginning of the year so that you are able to get some kind of input or some kind of knowledge out of this program to make sure your school is able to grow better. Third thing is that it's very important to have a proper roadmap for each and every stakeholder. We have talked about student as well as parent. You need to also have for teacher, which I have mentioned in the handout. So that will help you to understand the need, set a goals, plan and allocate resources, right? So these are the three things. Like let's also quickly look at Varthana partner academic solutions we have. We are partnered with Lead. I just have a look at the chat box. Yes, quiz, UT, oral quiz. Okay, I've received input for what kind of assessment you'll do. Thank you everyone for sharing that input. So Lead is a very innovative tech-based learning solution which offers you world-class curriculum and helps you to develop the curriculum. It also train the teachers to have a better pedagogy, and it is also NEP aligned. It's majorly helps the students to excel in English and coding skills. Whereas Kayan, on the other hand, it's like a knowledge vehicle which has a multimedia computer, the data projector. So it has a very engaging and very interesting learning methods and technology within it, and it also helps you to have a very vibrant and interactive classroom. So these are the two things which we are partnered with. And if you want to know about any of these program, you can reach us to hello@varthana.com, or you can reach us to this contact number.